Not only has Russia retaliated against Ukraine for Ukraine sending missiles to President Putin's house, which is absolutely insane, but also North Korea and Russia are warning of nuclear increase because guess what? When Russia sent the Orshnik missile, it has nuclear capabilities, although they did not use nuclear power. So it sent a message to the world, and most certainly the western side of Europe and America, that we could use these nukes at any time. But there's a lot going on here, okay? And so in this video, we're also going to break down why this trending news about Trump potentially dissolving his access to NATO could form the biggest issue that the world has ever seen before. You want to watch to the end, you want to get a notebook, and you may want to even pack your bags and get your clothes while you can, because what's coming next is absolutely insane.
Yeah, guys, look, first of all, make sure you like the video because I know you saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail be lit, and my wife be doing her thing with the thumbnails. So make sure you like the video, leave a comment below, and let us know your thoughts about what we are going to be talking about in this video, because things are changing. You know, ever since 2020, you have to really analyze and realize things can really change in an instant. And this is one of these situations where if this really rolls out in the way that we kind of break it down, America's going to be like crippled. So
it's going to be bad. And this is why we're warning you, because remember, the State Department told U.S. citizens, if you are in Russia, you need to leave like yesterday. They recently came out just 24 hours ago and said, if you are in Venezuela, you need to leave immediately. And so here's the question that I have for you. If you know the answer, you can answer. If you don't, just say, hey, what does this mean? What happens to a NATO member if one member attacks another? Because see, Denmark and America are both a part of NATO. And if you haven't been researching, I'll be the first to clue you in. The Arctic Circle is a military gold mine because they have uranium and these rare earth minerals that President Donald Trump wants. But at the same time, Greenland low-key wants independence from Denmark, although they don't want to be American. And on the flip side, Denmark does not want to give up Greenland. And in the past, these were literal pirate territories where these ancient Nordic Europeans would go through and just slaughter each other. And it seems like that time is happening again. So listen, if a NATO country confirms an act of war, which would literally be President Trump doing an invasion against another NATO member, two things must occur. Number one, the aggressor is suspended or removed from the alliance. Number two, the alliance itself, NATO, the unification of 27 countries in Europe and America, and I think Japan is in it as well, it will cease to exist. And to be honest with you, either outcome has deadly consequences far beyond military positioning. Because if NATO ceases to exist, I was reading this from a Swiss lady, she may be a politician or a journalist, and it was on Threads. And you know what she said? She had such a good point. She said, if NATO is completely dissolved, by the way, President Trump has already pulled out of 66 NATO organizations around healthcare, Africa aid, Asia aid, different things they do across the world together as one unified Western European and American community. He's pulled out of 66 of them already. And so if America is completely out of NATO, and if aggression happens with President Trump invading Greenland, which he already told people he's going to do, quite frankly, then the European nations can call back their debt on the US and crash the economy. Many Americans don't realize this, but if you are Russian, Chinese, Japanese, or just someone in Africa that explores finance and geopolitics, then let the people know, because the top four holders of US debt, you may want to get your phone and go on Google or ChatGPT. The top four holders of US debt, meaning the US has to pay these people back at some rate: Japan, China, the United Kingdom, and France. Now, this is an issue because 50% of these countries are
Yeah.
European and 50% are Asian. And he just basically made these people very, very frustrated.
Yeah, and then if you don't know, Japan and China been dumping treasuries and bonds from the U.S. So
For years.
that's something. And this or last year, it was a heavy year of dumping these treasuries and bonds. So things are starting to step by step line up to make sense of the scripture. Babylon will fall in an hour, right? And I know for us, we mentally cannot grasp that, but with things like this happening, you can start to see how America, Babylon, can fall pretty fast.
Very fast. And if you are an American listening to this and you are in the US of A, if you're an expat outside of America, chime in, let the people know how grateful and glad you are that you have been out for a long time. But if you are in America, this is a very serious talk. You need to get up, pack your shoes, pack your clothes, just get 5 of each, pack your bags, grab your passport, and leave while it's available for you to leave, because understand, when NATO is completely dissolved, the moment President Trump sends military boots into Greenland, all bets are off. There will be no more global travel. There will be no more, let me just fly to Mexico. There will be no more, let me just fly across to Paris. Do you understand the severity of the situation that Americans are facing? See, because America, unfortunately, has to be repaid for all of the wickedness she has done to the world, to Iraq, to Syria, 90 airstrikes, to Africa, and now to the Europeans.
Yeah.
Europe also is getting repaid double for her portion according to the trouble that she has done in the world. And so this is why we tell you, the global south, where most of the oppressed of the earth have been for thousands of years, is the only safe spot that you can find on the planet. Because what you're going to see happen to Western society, it'll be nothing like we've seen before. Number one, the economy is going to collapse, like I just said. Food prices are going to go insane. And remember, Americans, it's not like Denmark where everybody's peaceful and they have no armory and stuff like that. I want to use the proper terms here because we're on YouTube. But Americans are armed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most countries on earth are not heavily armed the way Americans are very feisty, unfortunately prideful and narcissistic people. And this is the perfect ingredient and mix up for chaos soup.
Yeah. It's going to be a big divide that's happening, because even now, I know my wife was just talking about passports, right? I know for us, we know people that just has their passport, right? And they're ready to travel. But I know there's people out here that's listening to this that does not have your passport. Get your passport, because things are changing. They are trying to keep people in America so this chaos can play out. And as we see with all the protests going on, just everything in America that's happening right now, the uncertainty in America right now is very high. So if you do not have your passport, please get your passport. Please, please, please. Make sure you have copies of everything, your birth certificate, the original copies, just everything, your social security number, just every single thing. Because we are hearing a lot of stories that basically they just want to make life harder for people, especially when you are traveling, especially when they're starting to see a lot of people travel and move in droves to international countries. So things are heated. Things been heated up. But now is really time to really get serious. Little by little, you got to be consistent about what you're doing. If your plan is to move, you gotta do something every day to strive for that move, to keep stepping forward to that move. Because times is starting to get really scary for a lot of people if they are not prepared. And all that we want to do on this channel is prepare our people that is listening and that can see. Because look, it's happening. It's been happening, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to get worse, because this is not the worst.
Oh, this is the tip of the iceberg. If you think this is the worst it can get, you do not understand what's truly happening behind the scenes, because you're going to see happen is Americans will become refugees. And if you're someone that does not want to leave America as a refugee, I strongly urge you to take one of the last 6 spots in the State of the Diaspora that happens this Friday, January 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern. See, here's the thing. We just announced it. It's the 17th edition of the State of the Diaspora that we've done for 2 years straight. On this channel, we've been outside of America for 6 years, had children abroad, built businesses while abroad, done pretty much everything under the sun that you can think of, even sold our house in Ohio while still being abroad instead of returning. And so we just announced it, but somebody already booked their $100 ticket. And so I'm like, hey, if you wait till the last minute, it truly will be sold out. There will not be space for you. And this is not the time to sit around, play games, and, just count the stars and twiddle your fingers. This is the time to get serious. If you feel the pull and the move to exit America, do something about it.
Yeah, because just like my wife was just saying about the iceberg, it just popped in my head. The iceberg, it's like an ice mountain, right? But that's not the biggest part of it, right? So if this is the tip of the iceberg and this iceberg is going to flip, there's a whole bigger foundation that's going to be flipped on a lot of people that's going to cause a lot of chaos and uncertainty for a lot of people. So look, it's time. As we keep saying, it's really time.
Yeah, and this is a moment where people who used to be on the fence and the side of America is not Mystery Babylon, America's not under judgment, you are about to get the biggest shock of your entire life when you realize, oh, this is like extreme judgment that has never been done before. Understand, America is only what it has been because of its shared alliances with Western Europe and Japan. Just understand that. Because of the slave trade, because the people they captured prior to 1776, because of the strange agreements they put into African nations like Somalia or in the Middle East, Asia, with Iraq and Iran. The moment all of that goes away, you're in biblical territory. You're in unprecedented times. And this is why Russia's position matters so much, because Russia has been explicit in framing the fact that NATO crumbling down, that type of instability is an opportunity for Russia to potentially take over and to rebalance global power. They will first come back for Eastern Europe, period. History will tell you that. And then as they're able to be more successful and they're able to continue on, North Korea, China will join them, and they will make their way all the way to the West Coast until they are able to successfully colonize, for lack of a better word, the Western world, the way that the Western world has colonized literally everybody under the sun, including indigenous Australians, people in Oceania, people in India, and clearly Africans.
That's deep. That's deep.
And that's all we have for you, because these are trying times, but you don't have to be on the worst side of it. You can prepare now, like Joseph did in Egypt, or like Danielle did, or like any wise empire would. Prepare now, save what you need to save, escape, because according to Proverbs 22, the wise foresee danger, meaning to future pace it, to understand what's coming down the pipeline in the future, and then maneuver themselves out of the way. That's an action. So you need to do that as well. But it's up to you. We can't make you do it, but we praise and bless the Most High for being outside of America and for being obedient to the call. Because what's happening now?
Yeah. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And I know a lot of people feel like they can't sacrifice what they need to, but it's coming down that you have to. So, family, make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, and we will talk to you in the next video. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.